After a car crash, most Georgia drivers make at least 3 critical mistakes that can cost them thousands or even destroy their claim in its entirety. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 most common mistakes that I see people make after car accidents in Georgia and how to avoid them. Hi, I'm attorney David Bronze. I started my career working for the insurance companies, and that meant my job was figuring out how to pay people like you as little money as possible. Seeing how that system worked from the inside is exactly why I'm sharing these videos with you. I want you to know the same tricks I used to use against people like you so that you can protect yourself. We're going to flip the script. And if you need to talk to an attorney that you can trust, give us a call at Bronze Law. All right, let's talk about it. The first mistake I see happens right at the scene. You're shaken up, your adrenaline's pumping, and the other driver comes up to you, hopefully, to see if you're okay. Maybe you say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you," or "This is my fault." You're just trying to be polite, right? Here's the problem. Georgia follows what's called the modified comparative negligence rule. That means if you're found to be 50% or more at fault, you get nothing, zero. And guess what insurance companies do with those apology statements at the scene? They record them, they put them in their file, they use them in their reports, and suddenly your "I'm sorry" becomes an admission and proof that you caused the accident. So here's what you do instead. Check if everyone's okay, call 911, and when you talk to the police, stick to the facts, no conclusions. The light was green, I was in my lane. That's it. Don't speculate about what happened or draw any conclusions. Don't apologize. Save the full story for your attorney. Attorneys like me, we can control the narrative. The second mistake I see is people leaving the scene without gathering evidence. I get it, and I've been there myself. You're hurt, stressed, and you just want to go home or get to the hospital. But if you leave without the right information, you're making the insurance company's job a lot easier. Here's why. In Georgia, insurance companies love the he said, she said cases because they can dispute everything. No photos, they'll say the damage on your car was pre-existing. No witness info, they'll say their driver had the green light, even if that driver told you something different at the scene. And once you leave the scene, you can't go back and recreate it. I want you to do these things instead. Take photos of everything. There's no excuse. You've got a phone in your pocket that has a camera. Take pictures of the vehicles from multiple angles, the road conditions, traffic signals, skid marks, and any visible injuries. I also want you to get the other driver's insurance information because otherwise you have to wait for the police report. Get their license plate number and their driver's license. If there are witnesses, you absolutely want to get their names and phone numbers. Don't assume the police officers will do it. A lot of times they don't. Even just 2 minutes of documentation at the scene can be the difference between a full settlement and getting nothing or having to fight tooth and nail to get something. Now, within a day or two of the wreck, you're probably going to get a call from an insurance adjuster. That's their MO. They're going to sound friendly, understanding, like they're there to help you. And they'll ask you if you can give a quick recorded statement about what happened. And this is mistake number 3, and it's a huge one. They're looking for any inconsistency, any piece of information they can use to deny or reduce your claim. They're insurance companies and they're adjusters. That is their job, to find any reason to reduce or not pay you. Look, in Georgia, you are not legally required to give the other driver's insurance company a recorded statement. In fact, we don't do it here at Bronze Law. So politely decline. Say, "I prefer to provide a written statement," or even better, "I'd like to speak with my attorney first." You have every right to do this, and it protects you from saying something that could hurt your case later. Remember, that adjuster is not your friend. Their job is to save the company money, not to make sure you're treated fairly. Mistake number 4, and it's a case killer, waiting too long to see your doctor. Maybe you feel okay right after the wreck. Maybe you're just sore and think it'll go away in a few days. You wait a week or even more before seeing a doctor. Insurance companies use this against you all the time. They call it a treatment gap or gap in care. They're going to argue things like, if you were really hurt, you would have gone to the hospital immediately. Or how do we know this injury didn't come from something else? I've heard these arguments hundreds of times, both on this side, and I used to make them when I worked for the insurance companies. And it works. Juries believe it. So bottom line, get checked out right away. Even if you feel fine, you want peace of mind. And injuries like whiplash, concussions, and soft tissue damage often don't show symptoms immediately. You have to remember, the adrenaline and endorphins is masking pain at the scene. Your body's in shock, but having that medical record from day one is going to create a clear, undeniable connection between the accident and your injuries. That's called causation, and it's part of your burden of proof. The last big mistake, and this one costs people the most money, is accepting the first settlement offer. The insurance company's going to call you. They're going to offer you a quick check and make it sound like this is the best you're going to get. They might even say things like, this offer won't be on the table forever, or if you get a lawyer, they'll just take a third of this anyway. You've got bills piling up, and so you take it. But here's what happens next. Once you sign that release and cash your check, your case is over. Done. You can't come back later and ask for more, even if your injuries get worse or you discover new damages. Even if you find out if you need surgery, it's over. And even if you can't work for months, it's over. You signed away all your rights. What people don't realize is that the first offer is almost always a fraction of what the case is actually worth. They're betting you don't know any better. And on the insurance side, we used to call this stealing the case, because that's exactly what we were doing. We were stealing it for low money. They're going to hope you take the quick money and walk away so they can close the file and save tens of thousands of dollars. Before you accept any settlement, talk to a lawyer, please. We can tell you what your case is actually worth based on your injuries, your medical bills, and your lost wages. We can tell you if that offer is fair or if you're leaving money on the table. Don't make a decision that affects the rest of your life based on what an adjuster tells you. If you've been in a wreck in Georgia, call us at Braun's Law for a free case review. We'll walk you through your options, answer your questions, and let you know exactly what your case could be worth. And if you're worried about your case because you found out the other driver doesn't have insurance, I break down exactly what to do in that situation in the next video. Go watch it.